Hey everyone, welcome back to Loopy Studio, and today I'm here to talk about the Stranger Things 5 Volume 2 trailer that was just released a couple of days ago. So I'm officially on winter break. I finished up my finals yesterday, and I'm so happy to be done. And I'm happy for the break, for the holidays, to spend time with family and friends and to get back into YouTube a bit or a bit more consistently. So throughout these next couple of weeks, you'll be seeing me upload a bit more. You can look forward to obviously me talking about volumes 2 and 3 of Stranger Things when they come out, and then a few other things as well. I'm not going to get into here. I'm just going to kind of jump right into Stranger Things Volume 2, which comes out Christmas, which is a week from, I guess, yeah, I guess it's already Thursday. I'm recording this early in the morning Thursday, but it comes out next Thursday night, Christmas night, which will be interesting. If they're like, are they gonna kill anyone? And are people gonna have to like watch that on Christmas? I'm really curious about that. I'm mixed on whether someone's gonna die in Volume 2. I feel like someone has to, because this is the most action of the season, I assume, are these 3 episodes, because we know that the finale is 2 to 2.5 hours, and this in entirety, I would assume volume 2 would be like 3 to 3.5 hours. So I assume someone has to die in volume 2. I'm just not sure who it's going to be. Okay, so kind of going through this, I do wonder. I assume we're going to pick up right where we left off with at the military base and Will's powers and everything, and we'll see Will, Mike, and Joyce. We know there's a scene of the in the trailer where like Joyce looks sad and Mike looks like he's gonna like comfort her. I think we're gonna get that early on in episode 5. I think we're gonna see Will grappling with his powers and Joyce helping him through it. So I think that's gonna be a big thing right off the bat. And let's see. Yeah, also gonna get to see what Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and Dustin are up to. Which I am like one thing I'm kind of disappointed about is that we're not seeing Dustin with the main group. Um, we're seeing him off with Steve and like the older group. I think probably him and Robin should be swapped out. But I guess they wanted to switch things up a bit and give Robin a plot with Will, so I kind of get that. But it looks like Dustin's going to be back like with the main group later on, so that'll be nice. But Dustin says everything we have thought about the Upside Down has been dead wrong. So. I have no idea what this is. It could be like a plot twist with like the lab, or something. I know that last season there was a little tidbit where we found out that the Upside Down was stuck in time, in the past. I kind of wonder if that's going to be brought back up again. I don't know if that has something to do with this. I guess we'll find out. Some big shock reveal about the Upside Down, which I'm looking forward to. We see a lot of Max and Holly together on their own adventure, and I know some people have been complaining that Holly is getting too much screen time for a little girl that was barely in the show. And I could kind of see that argument. There are a lot of characters. I do think overall, for what it's worth, for much shorter episodes, season 5 is doing a better job at giving an equal-ish amount of time to all characters. I mean, some still aren't great. For example, we're not really getting a lot of Mike, Lucas, Jonathan. We're getting a lot more like Will, Robin, some Steve and Dustin. I mean, obviously a lot of Holly, Eleven and Hopper, but it's gonna like vary. I think overall season 5 is doing a good job with it, and this trailer does seem to balance everyone pretty well. Like they show all characters. They're showing kind of what they're doing, what they're involved in. So, yeah. So it looks like Holly like has powers of some sort, so she can cast dimension doors, which basically we kind of knew there was going to be something there when Mike gave her D&D figure that could do that. So I'm not really surprised, but. Yeah, I'm curious what that's going to entail. And then there's like this like thing up in like the sky. that everyone keeps looking up at. Um, I'm kind of like skipping through some of this when there's not really fully something to talk about. I'm just going to kind of mention it. I'm just kind of like looking through the trailer. One thing I do noticed back in the background of the shot of Eleven putting her headphones on is we have an IU sticker, Big Red Express, up on like above her, and I'm like, hell yeah, I go to IU. So I love that. I absolutely love that. So. I always love when there's like a little bit of like IU thrown into a show. Like in the Apple TV show Stick, it's with Owen Wilson in it. The kid has on an IU polo at one point, which again I love that. I actually watched quite a few shows that are based in Indiana. Now that I think about it, I watched that and I watched this, and there's got to be a few others too. But I did love that little tie-in right there. We're doing really good with football this year, gotta say. But I'm not getting into that. That's a completely other conversation that you guys don't want to hear about. Um, but yeah, so there's this. So we have 11 and what Callie. I think it's Callie is her sister's name. I haven't watched that episode in forever. I really meant to rewatch the old seasons, but I just never got around to it because I'm so busy with college, or I was. Yeah, I wasn't able to do that. But I wonder what Hallie's involvement is going to be. Are we just going to get her for like one episode and she's going to like help Eleven out with something, or we're going to get her for the final battle? And I hope we'll get her for the final battle because if we just have her in one episode, I, I wouldn't understand the point of bringing her back. Like she has to do something substantial. I would love an 11 Callie and Will team up. And apparently Holly has powers too. But I would love like the Powers crew to like, which is funny, the Powers crew, because that's like my mom's side of the family. So like saying that out loud is funny. Like I'm talking about my cousins. But I would love the crew that has all the powers. Um, to come together and defeat Vecna, like be like the ultimate forces. I would love that. I don't know about Holly, but definitely 11, Callie, and Will for sure. So we see Murray driving a truck again, and the last time we saw him, he crashed, so he did survive that. But again, I'm really worried about Murray. I think if someone were to die, I have like two guesses who it's gonna be if it were to be in Volume 2. I know there are a lot of fans who love Murray, but I don't think his death would be as impactful because he's connected to uh less characters as opposed to someone more central to the plot. So I do think they could kill off Murray and it wouldn't be like a huge deal. I mean, people would still be upset. I don't know though, but I had this feeling when the season started that Murray was gonna die, and I don't know. I still think it's gonna happen. And I feel like it's gonna be volume 2. I think we're gonna see his death in one of these episodes, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. Nancy looking like a badass, like such a good shot. Yeah, so I'm also worried for Vicky. Vicky's the other one I think there's a possibility that they'll kill her off. And I didn't think this would happen before I watched this trailer. I didn't really know how involved she was going to be because Robin's off doing her own thing. But yeah, we have this whole Demogorgon attack at the hospital, and we know that there's some stuff with Max and Lucas there when he's carrying her out. She's still unconscious. We don't see much of Max. Well, we see a few shots of Max in the hospital and all that. Most of what we see of Max is like her in this with Holly in the other world. But yeah, I'm nervous for Vicky. Um, I'm like, are they just throwing that in there to mislead us to think she'd die, which is also a possibility too. I think it's more likely she does survive that or survive that, like just come out of it. Obviously, she's not going to get like hurt or anything. I think her and Robin will make it out of there. I also don't think they're going to kill off Robin. I think Robin's pretty safe. I think Vicky is somewhat safe, but I'm a little bit cautious there. Like there's a bit of a question mark. But you see, I watched Andor, and in Andor they killed off Vel's girlfriend, Senta. And so, like, I really wonder if says Stranger Things gonna pull an Andor and just kill off the lesbian, like ruin the lesbian couple. I don't know, but I'm gonna hope not. Like out of the two, I would be more upset if Vicky died because I love Robin so much. She's one of my favorite characters. But I think Murray's a little bit more likely than Vicky, so we should be good there. But it's also possible neither of them could die. We'll have to wait and see. But and then there's a lot of like these like smaller shots. A shot really cool where we see Henry kind of like go back and forth as Vecna as a shot as he moves his neck around. That's pretty sick. Um, and then yeah, again, a lot of smaller shots. The last thing I really want to talk about is the Steve and Dustin "You Die, I Die." And a lot of people are worried, understandably. So that's the whole point of throwing that in there is to make us think that one or both of them's gonna die. I don't think so. Like, why would they put that in the trailer if they were gonna kill one or both of them off? I didn't think Dustin was gonna die anyways. I think Steve is gonna be safe for Volume 2, because what I think might happen is Steve will Steve will be safe. He'll survive Volume 2, and then they might kill him off in the finale because people aren't going to suspect his death. Maybe they'll do a fake out death here because we still have that scene with Steve and Dustin hugging, and I have a feeling that Steve had like a fake out death and Dustin thought he was dead, and that's when that hug happens. So they could do that. Now, I'm also think there's actually a highly likely chance that Jonathan will die, and maybe even slightly more so than Steve. I have a feeling either Steve or Jonathan will die. I don't think both of them will die. They won't do that to Nancy. I mean, not saying Nancy's going to end up with Steve. Anyways, that's not going to happen for sure. And she might not even end up with Jonathan if he's alive. I don't know. She could very well end up single, and I would be fine with that for her. But Jonathan, like, I really feel like they were setting up the whole with the ring to suggests that he's gonna die before he gets to propose, and Nancy finds the ring later. I have a feeling that's gonna happen, something like that. But it's like Joyce, like she thought she lost her son, and she did lose him briefly when he went missing. Would they really take her other son away? I mean, the buyers have been through like the most heartbreak, which makes me kind of cautious that like, will they kill off Jonathan? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but again, I think either Jonathan or Steve will die, and Steve will connect more with the fans because he's like a better loved character, where Jonathan's kind of has mixed opinions as from what I've seen. But yeah, so comment down below. What did you think of this trailer? What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's going on in the Upside Down? What's Callie's role gonna be? Who's gonna die? All of the above. And I will see you guys for a few more videos coming up soon, but definitely to talk about Volume 2, which comes out Christmas night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I will see you shortly after that, sometime in the few days after that, to talk about Volume 2. So happy holidays, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.